Hello, guys, and today we have some very important, I may even say historic news to discuss. Because for the first time ever, the Ukrainian SBU managed to destroy the Russian submarine while still underwater. It was hiding in the Russian port Novorossiysk, that is the new headquarters of the leftovers of the Black Sea Fleet deep inside Russia. But even there, Ukrainian underwater drones managed to identify and destroy the submarine. It cost the Kremlin 400 or maybe even $500 million. According to the NATO standards, it's classified as kilo. But most importantly, it carried four caliber missile launchers, which they often target on Ukrainian schools, kindergartens, and sleeping children. So, by destroying such submarines, we save a lot of innocent lives and once again and again expose the weakness of the Russian army and the Kremlin regime in general. Trust me, Russia is the weakest ever, and the only working peace plan is to defeat and demilitarize it. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Putin in The Hague, subscribe and I promise we will have a really nice live from the court there sometime soon. So let's begin with this beautiful holiday present from the Ukrainian SBU. They've surprised us a number of times. My favorite operation so far was, of course, Spiderweb, but this one is extremely innovative. This is what the war of the 21st century is. So, I was surprised to learn, actually, I've discovered that myself only today, that now we also have sub-sea babies. We made a breakthrough with Ukrainian marine drones that neutralized a lot of the Black Sea targets and many other evil objects in the waters of the Black Sea, now in the Caspian Sea. But it turns out that now we also have underwater drones, which are beautifully named after the previous version Sea Baby, now Subsea Baby. So these Subsea Babies managed to identify the Russian submarine Varshavyanka. It is a kilo type according to NATO classification. In the Russian fleet, they have numbers or something like that. But anyway, that is an expensive submarine that was used by Russians to target innocent Ukrainian homes, because once again on its board there were four caliber missile launchers. And previously it was located in the waters near Crimea, which made it more harmful and more unpredictable for the Ukrainian air defense, for the Ukrainian people. But once again, after our victory and the defeat of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, that I think we do not speak enough, and the destruction of the Black Sea Fleet of Russia headquarters in Sevastopol, and their need to relocate to Novorossiysk, which is a port on the territory of the Russian Federation, this submarine had to escape together with these leftovers, and it was underwater next to that Novorossiysk. It is really difficult to identify such submarines because they are sometimes called as black holes, because of the qualities they possess, that they can absorb the sound and are very difficult for the sonars to identify. So, with all these complex systems, with this fake, indeed, image of the Russian army, they believed it was safe. But no, now we have sub-sea babies that are able to destroy such evil things. According to this preliminary estimates, it cost $400 million, but that's before the sanctions were imposed. Now, with the sanctions, with this important international isolation of Russia for the Kremlin, it's almost near to impossible to get anything to build a similar one, so the price can actually rise to 500 million. But once again, with empty budgets and protests against increasing taxes, against various problems with salaries, and even inability to pay Russian war criminals that joined the so-called Russian army. They definitely do not have money to create new submarines. And the very fact that Ukrainian drones, underwater drones, are able to identify and destroy such targets on the side of the Russian Federation is the best proof Russia can and will be defeated. And, I am very inspired to see that there are more and more protests inside the Russian Federation. Yesterday, we spoke about strikes of the taxi drivers. And then we talk about protests in Bashkortostan, in Tatarstan, and this gives hope to various national movements. That's why I am very honored to introduce you to this new interview on the channel with one of the leaders of the Free Nation League. And that is an international big organization that consists of different nations now trapped inside the Russian Federation that want to be free and actually develop a roadmap so that the inevitable dissolution of the Russian Federation would not become dangerous or chaotic, but they could actually have a roadmap for peaceful and democratic process. Watch this conversation with Rajana Dugar de Ponte, who is a famous Buryat activist and journalist and anthropologist, and just an extremely interesting person that I was really happy to share these insights with you. And one more target was destroyed by HIMARS or Ukraine-style HIMARS missiles in Belgorod, which is an active war zone inside the Russian Federation, with many more actually regions that are now no-fly zone, no swim zone. And honestly, once again, since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Russia is the weakest ever. They have deceived themselves with their constant lies, with this misinformation. And after the failure of Blitzkrieg, the amount of these problems and lies only amounted. And now Russia is ready to collapse under this way. So don't let the Kremlin mouthpieces to deceive you, because it's dangerous not only for us here in Ukraine, though it's important, but it's also dangerous for your countries, for your democracies, for the future of your children, grandchildren, because the plan of Russia is not the territory of Donbass. They want to destroy the working alliances, they want to destroy our lifestyle, our basic values like human life, freedom, dignity, and to prevent all of this, we need to defeat and demilitarize it, and of course, Putin in The Hague. And that's possible. Just trust Ukraine, stand with Ukraine, and we will do the job. Follow me on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord. You will find these links in the description of the video, same as the link to the merch shop with lots of good holiday season presents that can turn you also in our ambassadors, reminding the world about the fight, about the need to defeat Russia, and about Ukrainian victories, which is also very, very important. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channels, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!